Theme parks are known for their immersive environments, but did you know that many of the elements featured in these amusement settings is art from the past? My name is Chris, and I'm an art historian and theme park fan, and I want to tell you the background of many of the things you commonly see around you.
It's easy to get immersed and lost inside theme parks and their environments for rides. But what are you getting immersed in? Is it a real place or a made-up place? To figure that out, let's take a look at a Disneyland attraction, the Indiana Jones Adventure. I guess I should change. Well, the Indiana Jones attraction opened for the 40th anniversary of Disneyland in 1995. Helmed by Disney legend Tony Baxter, this thrill ride takes guests up close to the deity Mara. The setting is named Temple of the Forbidden Eye, and the full name of the ride then is Indiana Jones Adventure Temple of the Forbidden Eye. When it was built, it changed quite a lot of Adventureland because of its large footprint. The Jungle Cruise even integrated it into many jokes and the story overall for that attraction.
Alright, great. I want to start off our tour. If you look over here on your right hand side, we have the Temple of the Forbidden Eye. Right over there, we got famed archaeologist Indiana Jones currently looking for the lost treasure.
Many of the stories of Indiana Jones are based on real places and plausible artifacts that are from our reality. So, is the Indiana Jones Temple of the Forbidden Eye a real place or even based on a real place? I started to wonder where it could be found. It's not clear almost at all within the ride itself, and Adventureland has so many different cultures within it, there's no clues from that context either. So it's up to art history to rescue us from this riddle. We do know that the architectural form of the building is of course a temple, but what culture is this temple from? That's the question to really uncover. In art history, there are types of analysis in order to examine and interpret art pieces. This type of analysis is known as formal analysis, and that's looking at technical elements like material, symbols, and even layout to assess how it fits within cultures. The first step I took was looking up temple in searches. However, this reveals many different types of temples in many different cultures. A quick glance shows that Hindu temples from India and Indonesia and even Cambodia are likely to be the origins, with some similarities. Some of them are much more ornate than the Temple of Mara, so more investigation was needed to see if this was really the type of temple that the Indiana Jones Adventure Temple came from. So first, with the formal analysis, is looking at the shape of the building. Overall, the entrance of the Temple of the Forbidden Eye has a mountain shape to it, which does fit in old Indian temples. The mountain pyramidal form can be seen from northern Indian temples starting from around the 500 CE. These shapes are symbolic of a mountain because sacred and celestial mountains have been common in Indian folklore. This shape gives it the pyramidal form and even has a taper at the top. Next is examining some of the fictional material that was used for the construction of the Indiana Jones Temple. The material does mimic sandstone in color and some of the texture, and that would put it around the 600s era of Indian temples. In the southern region of India, temple materials would use granite, but from the Pallava period, which was in the 600s CE, sandstone would be used. Sandstone is more vulnerable to weather elements and will typically show some wear and tear, which the Indiana Jones Temple does show. So now it's time to go inside and see if there's anything to uncover that will give a more exact time and an exact place that this temple could have been built. The inscriptions inside the Temple of the Forbidden Eye warn us of Mara, and that would be more like the 9th to 12th century temples. But there's some simplicity to the carvings that sets it a little bit older than that. The more modern the Indian temple, the more architectural decorations adorn the outside. From the 7th to 11th centuries, the layout of the temples was mostly square-shaped, like I said, and its central area was known as the mandapa. This used concentric circles that emanated from that central square plan, and it was partially because the circle was seen as an important shape in the religious culture. Inside the Indiana Jones Temple, a central chamber with a wide space in the queue could be the mandapa. One reason to think that, besides the open central space, is because of the images of Mara that are depicted there. It would also indicate that the mandapa is not part of the ride where we see an angry Mara. Speaking of images of deities, throughout the outside and inside of Indian temple structures, various carvings could be found and are found sometimes of figures. Some scholars like Meister believe some of these carvings, like ribbed stones, are both functional and decorative. It can also show decoration as part of symbolism or narratives. Carved images, typically of deities and projections or reliefs, can be found in some niches in and around Indian temples. Temple of the Forbidden Eye has carvings including freestanding snakes and inscriptions with warnings of Mara. However, the sophisticated carvings and inscriptions do put it starting at the 9th century, not so much the 7th century. Continuing in formal analysis, there are questions regarding the subject matter of the painted images inside. In Indian temples honoring Vishnu, which are some of the oldest type of temples of deities, there are relief carvings of Vishnu depicting various important stories of the deity. This depiction does have some similarities to Mara. In full figure, Mara can be seen as lightly clothed, which is similar to Vishnu in the temple. Vishnu has ornamentation on him, and Mara has ornamentation as well, including a similar lavish crown. The difference between depictions of Mara and panels of Vishnu and other deities is that Hindu temples typically have more relief sculptures in temples than friezes or paintings on walls. The narratives depicted are often showing more aspects of worship rather than trying to give warning or showing that a god like Mara is bestowing a gift. So there's a lot of characteristics that point to the Temple of the Forbidden Eye being an Indian Hindu temple. But even with these characteristics I found about them, I couldn't gain any conclusion about the place or time that the Temple of the Forbidden Eye is from. This area of Adventureland points to a real place, but a rather fictional one that combines elements from different areas of India and even different eras. If you ever wonder about how the Disneyland temple does compare with real Hindu temples, you don't have to travel all the way to India. Just about a half-hour drive from Disneyland is a modern Hindu temple that does use a lot of architectural forms and features that ancient ones that are still standing in India used. I hope this all helped you with examining your surroundings and theme parks more. You can take time while waiting in line to think about what you're seeing and why you're even seeing certain elements there. It does take a little bit of research sometimes, but you can make some conclusions based on your own formal analysis of material, subject matter, colors, and even layout. So next time, you're on your own. Please subscribe and even like this video to find more art videos and theme parks that I will be doing in the future.